6 minutes after 7 o'clock. Tuesday evening, beautiful Tuesday evening in Chattanooga, Tennessee and beyond. You are listening to Off the Bench Radio live on Talk 102.3 WGOW. Jeff Cate live on location this week from Walker Valley High School at Mike Turner Field. We got a diamond doubleheader. We got Walker Valley and Howard on the softball diamond down the hill from us. It looks like it is a 16-0 final there for the Feisty Fillies. And right here in front of us here in the district showdown, you have Walker Valley get ready to take on the Ooltewah Owls in some baseball action. First pitch approaching. But glad to be here. Glad to be back on the road. First time in a long time. And I know, Cowboy, that you are glad that you don't get to see me this week. And you're welcome, pal. How's it going tonight?
Oh, it's going fantastic. I mean, there's just a different aura in the studio tonight.
There you go.
And just, I don't know. There's something about it. But has nothing to do with you not being here.
I'm glad you're lying right here, and that's good stuff, man. So did you have a good weekend?
I did, man. I did. Had a great weekend, and I enjoyed the weather a little bit. And I guess just like everyone else, getting ready for when it turns full-time spring, which it seems like that's what we're doing.
I'm telling you what, it feels like it out here right now. If you look at the forecast, I think it's at 78 degrees. There's a really good breeze blowing right toward us. So, it still feels like fall, but definitely spring is approaching for sure. And, with the weather being the way it is, these baseball and softball programs, and I think there was a track meet over at the football field tonight. So, all these spring sport athletes getting work in and enjoy the nice weather. So, looking forward to talking about, these games right here and more. Maybe do a little Final Four preview. I heard you guys talking about that toward the end of Sport Talk, and so you're not a big Hurley fan from UConn, I assume, Cowboy. I figured that guy would be right up your alley.
No, and a lot of people say that. I'm not sure what that means, what that says about me. But
you're a Raiders fan.
But yeah, something about him just rubs me the wrong way, and I think it's just his face and his attitude, and just the way him being is what irritates me.
Yeah, that's. But the guy does win, right? I guess you got to give the guy his due, and maybe he'll find a way to lose a heartbreaker in the Final Four when it matters for real, right? For sure. So, do want to give a shout out to RMR Legal, Cleveland's 24/7 local law firm. We'll be talking with Roy from RMR Legal here in just a second. So I want to thank him for having us out, and a big supporter of Walker Valley athletics in general. So, I tell you what, he's right here. We'll go ahead and bring him on so he can get out here and enjoy the rest of his evening, and that is Roy Roman with RMR Legal. And Roy, thanks for coming out and helping us put this remote edition of Off the Bench Radio tonight. How's it going?
Well, of course. I appreciate you having us out. It's beautiful out, and I heard you talking a little bit about that Hurley coach, and I'm a Duke guy, and I really happy to hear that your colleague doesn't like him either, so we're both on the same page there.
Well, yeah, I think that makes three of us for sure. So, you are a local guy. You're from the area, so you're kind of familiar with, what these programs and communities mean to a high school, athletic department, and you also went to Duke University Law School, so like you said, you are a Dookie, so I guess let's start there. Are you over what happened over the weekend in the Elite Eight?
Well, you're right. I am a local guy, but I try to root for teams that can actually win, and Duke is one of them, at least I thought. I'm not over it yet. I'd say I'm getting used to it because I've grown up a Tennessee fan, and we always say this is our year, and then it just doesn't happen. But I'm okay. I think at this point I'm all right, and I'm hanging in there, and I'm trying to move on and think about other sports so that I don't have to think about basketball anymore.
You got the both ends of the stick there. You had a close, heartbreaker there with Duke, and then Tennessee just not showing up after the first 5 or 10 minutes of the basketball game. So, where does March Madness rank on your scale of sports fandom?
Well, it really depends on who's playing.
There you go.
When Duke is playing and when Tennessee's playing, it's up there. But really, I'm more of a baseball and a football guy.
Okay.
And so I try not to think about it too much unless my teams are playing.
So this is kind of your atmosphere and your speed right here, being out here with the sun out, wind blowing, and now you being a baseball guy. So did you play locally baseball?
I played locally. I grew up playing at Dixie Youth down by the YMCA here in Cleveland,
okay.
and then played at Cleveland Middle School and then went through high school. I mean, it just kind of grew up in that world. I quit pretty early on. I realized I was not going to be a pro athlete, so I decided I'm either going to be a pro athlete or go be a lawyer, and I just decided to pick the worst option. So.
Well, let's that's a good segue there. Kind of talk about RMR Legal, how you guys got started, and obviously, like we said, Cleveland's 24/7 law firm. So, with a lot of these out of town law firms popping up, billboards and advertising, you have an office right there on North Ocoee Street in Cleveland. So, kind of fill us in on the background of RMR Legal.
Yeah, I mean, we're a hometown law firm. I'm born and raised here. Cleveland's all I've really ever known, except for when I was out for school and trying to figure out how to be a lawyer.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we're downtown Cleveland, and I think it's important that you hometown roots are important anywhere you go in any kind of thing, but especially a law firm. It's helpful, right? You understand the niches and the tweaks that you have in a certain jurisdiction. I mean, the other big law firms are great. I mean, there's great law firms all around. A lot of people say I am a billboard law firm, so maybe I'm not as, I'm not as isolated from those guys as some people would think as a local law firm. But again, I think, different advertising strategies for different folks, but being a true hometown lawyer is really important to me. I say it's not as common as maybe it used to be.
Yeah.
And so, sticking to our roots and coming home and opening our practice here where I was born and raised, to me, is really important.
Yeah, for sure. And like we said before we brought you on, you investing in Walker Valley Athletics, the way you do as well. Kind of talk about, what that kind of support, from a local business pouring into a local program like this means, not just to you, but just to everybody that comes out and supports these student athletes.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the sponsor signs, right? And it feels awesome when you see, a guy you grew up with his son, or, you went to school with that business's owner, and you say, man, that's so awesome that we're all supporting the same thing. It's great to get, big money coming in to support an institution, but when we can support and work with local institutions, that money feels better, right? Like It's going to a good cause as opposed to some fancy, CEO up in the big city. It's better to go where you can see it in action in real time, and we do it across the board, right? We've got a great relationship with Ocoee Middle School. My fiance, she teaches there. Like I want to pour into where my people are, right? And then we've got great relationships here at Walker Valley. Dr. Jeremy Jones, I mean, he's awesome. He's a superstar principal, and so, we try to pour into people that we grew up with. I've known these guys since I was a kid, and so it's great to be on the other side of the fence.
That's good stuff for sure. And rmrlegal.com is the website. People can go out there and visit and see, what you guys offer. Kind of talk about just, a little bit about what you guys do and how you can help anybody that might be in a pinch.
Sure. I mean, we're a full-service firm, so we've got attorneys for any kind of different issue. I'd say kind of top three are criminal defense, divorce, kind of family law, and civil litigation. But we've got something for everyone. We've got attorneys on staff for trust and estates. We've got guys for business things. We've got car wreck, slip and fall, workers' compensation, medical malpractice, the whole 9 yards, right? We run the gamut, and we try to provide that full-service firm touch while also providing the hometown feel, right?
Right.
You don't walk in feeling like you're in some sterile building. You walk in and it's, we're all from around here. We all kind of grew up together, and it's supposed to be fun, and that's the goal, is always to be fun.
And you remind the folks out there where they can find you, like a brick-and-mortar building. What's the address for your office?
Yeah, it's 70 North Ocoee Street. We're right across the street from the courthouse. I tell everyone, my good friend Brittany Katz, the running store next door, we're just right there. The big brick building with green pillars. It's a historic building. They say it's the 7th oldest building in Bradley County. And
that's near Lee University, right?
Right down from Lee. I'd say, we're on the courthouse square.
There you go.
That's the best way to put it.
When you say, we talked about this before we brought you on, the 24/7 Cleveland hometown law firm is legit, because you said you were working till late in the night last night, earlier this morning.
Oh, yeah. We're truly 24/7. To me, the biggest thing I noticed about being at home is no one wants to call out of work to go to the dentist. No one wants to call out of work to go to the doctor or to see a lawyer. And we've got a lot of people. They'll come in, Saturday before the ball games. Well, sometimes Sundays after church, people will come in and say, "Hey, that's the only time I'm off. I don't want to lose my job to get help with a specific legal issue." And so, what we always say is, we come to you where you're at. We'll come to you if you want to come to our office on the weekends. We make it work. After hours, we're always open.
That's good stuff. And you being a baseball guy, I do want to throw this out there. So, would you rather hit a long, chicks dig the long ball? Would you rather hit a home run or place a perfectly executed bunt to get a guy home from third to win the game?
Well, my coaches say that the latter's the better option. A perfectly placed bunt to get the guy to home base is always the right thing. But my personality, I want to nuke one.
There you go. That's right.
Just me.
Did you have who's your favorite player or team growing up?
I grew up being a big Red Sox fan.
Okay.
And I don't really know why, other than the fact that I liked their colors and that Fenway Park was very cool. But now I'm a big Braves fan, man. I'm all in, local. I don't know what happened. I think when I was growing up, I was a kid, and I was like, wow, Green Monster, so cool. But now that we've got actually a pretty good baseball team down there in Atlanta, I've switched allegiances.
Have you been to the new park yet?
New park is unreal, right?
It's awesome.
It's a gorgeous location.
Yeah, you got the Battery down there, so you have something to do versus, the old Turner Field where you got in, you got out. So it's definitely entertaining for sure. So rmrlegal.com or how can they reach you, again, with phone number and address?
Yeah, phone numbers, it's easy, 528-8484.
528, sorry about that.
No, you're fine, 528-8484. It's RMR Legal everywhere on all social media. We do a ton of ads. There's a local group called What's Happening Cleveland. We do a ton of giveaways there. Right now we're doing a $1,000 giveaway to Target just from liking and following our page. And so we try to stay involved in the community as often as we can.
423-528, Jeff Kate, 528-8484 or rmrlegal.com. Roy, can't thank you enough for having us out, man, and helping put this together, and we'll do it again soon. Appreciate the time.
I appreciate you having us out, sir.
All right, Joe, let's go and go to commercial break, and we'll continue the conversation on the other side. This is Off the Bench Radio, live at Walker Valley High School at Mike Turner Field, only on Talk 102.3. Jeff Kate live on the scene at Mike Turner Field at Walker Valley High School. Cowboy Joe keeping everything between the ditches and going as he normally does, for sure, and pleased to be joined by a guy who was on these airwaves a couple weeks ago, and that is what's the official job title tonight, Corey?
All right, well, tonight I guess I was PA
voice.
PA for softball.
There you go.
Husband to the coach of softball, and I guess now I'm your co-host since Joe bailed on us, and he's at the station. I guess it's I guess at this point I'm your co-host at this point. So you downgraded from Roy Roman though.
There you go. Well, he was gone 2 weeks ago, and when you joined us in studio, and he's not right here with us when you're here with us again. So
like a consistency really got me there.
There you go. That's right.
I'm starting to be offended, though. I mean, that's I'm 2 for 2 on not seeing. So I come to the studio, Joe's not there.
Of course.
You come to Cleveland, and Joe's not here. So
you're not missing much.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. I mean, I get down there, and Quake's there to greet me.
Yep.
Joe's nowhere to be found, but it's okay. It's all good.
We'll make it happen next time.
Yes, sir.
He claimed he was being a dad, Corey, but
yes,
I don't believe that necessarily at all. So,
yes, sir.
Again, we were talking about this in the first segment there. A doubleheader on both diamonds here tonight, Corey. Yeah. Obviously, with Feisty Fillies, what was it, 16-0 victory over Howard?
16-0 victory. They played really well. If you're involved in high school sports, these are the nights that make things special. And I know, you come up to a high school campus like this, and you see things going on like you got a district baseball game, you got a district softball game, so at any given night, you got a home soccer game in the district, you got a flag football game going on, you got a lacrosse game going on, you got a track meet going on. This is really just what high school sports is all about. I mean, we're sitting here, it's 75 degrees, partly cloudy, a little breeze blowing, watching baseball. I mean,
it's great.
Doesn't get a whole lot better than this.
No, not at all.
Great.
And in this game right here, you have bases loaded for Walker Valley. Again, on the baseball side is 0-0 between both the Ooltewah Owls and the Walker Valley Mustangs, and a strikeout there. So a big strikeout to kind of keep Ooltewah, on that side of the scoreboard right there. Yeah. So, what do you think we see out of this Walker Valley batter right here?
Walker Valley, so Nolan, a lot of these guys, I know a lot of these guys that have come through Ocoee Middle School, and I know you and I talked about it a lot, having the privilege of being the principal at the feeder middle school for these guys. Getting to know a lot of them. This is a really scrappy group for Walker Valley. They're young. They're playing a lot of young guys, kind of lost a lot of pitching last year. And really this whole district up and down has been really kind of odd. We saw a 13-inning game between Bradley and Cleveland.
Yep.
Walker Valley lost 2 out of 3 to Bradley. You just see some, Ooltewah coming off losing 2 out of 3 to East Hamilton. It's really a district in baseball that's wide open now. Nolan's a scrappy guy, tough. He's kind of a gap-to-gap hitter. He's got a lot of speed on the bases, and it's kind of what you'll see up and down the Walker Valley lineup. They're scrappy guys, really good guys, put the ball in play a lot.
Yeah,
just haven't found the consistency pitching yet that they want.
And this is the second of the 3-game series this week. Walker Valley had a 4-1 lead last night, and Ooltewah came back and won 8-4 with 7 runs late in the game. So, big opportunity here for Coach Anderson's team to kind of even the score, setting up a big rubber match, I believe, on Thursday back at Ooltewah. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Like you said, if you read the Chattanooga.com, you would have read about that Cleveland-Bradley Central 13-inning slugfest. And I'm sure the emotions were on the low end between those two rivals, weren't they?
Yeah, they get along really well. I think that's, they get along really well. Anytime what's funny, you see these local rivalries, and it's no different than East Hamilton, Ooltewah, Soddy Daisy, those guys, but Walker Valley, Cleveland, and Bradley really have some battles in all of our sports, and we see it. We're hosting Bradley in softball on Thursday, and just anytime you get that local flair and the rivals and these kids that have grown up playing travel ball, middle school ball together, it just adds some nice fireworks for the high school matchup.
Obviously, you mentioned Bradley Central, Cleveland, Ooltewah, East Hamilton.
Yep.
You have Soddy Daisy, Red Bank. So, to you, the biggest rival for Walker Valley. Because we talked about this a couple weeks ago. The Ray County rivalry has amped up ever since Coach Harvey went over there. But what do you think it is overall for all those teams?
Walker Valley Bradley by far is the primary rivalry here, and I think anytime Cleveland's involved as well, that's usually the one thing that we find that Walker Valley and Bradley fans both agree on is both of them against Cleveland. But Bradley Central always brings an extra vibe to the campus at Walker Valley, and the same thing when Walker Valley goes to Bradley Central.
Yeah, for sure. And right here in front of us, Ooltewah getting out of a big jam, bases loaded.
Yeah, that was a big one.
They're able to get 3 outs and kind of regroup and go into the top of the second there, batting right here. So again, this is Off the Bench Radio coming to you live tonight from Mike Turner Field on the campus of Walker Valley High School. Tonight's roadshow edition is brought to you by RMR Legal. I want to thank Roy for helping us put this on. And you heard you guys talking a little bit. During the commercial break there, you guys do a lot of things with the Ocoee Middle School stuff as well. Kind of talk about him as a guy that you work with, just during your regular day job, leading the future at Ocoee Middle School.
Roy Michael is a huge supporter, and he's really a great example of a local guy. He went off, so he went to law school at Penn and ended up doing some legal work in New York, and came back really to give back to his hometown. He's a locally grown product. Bradley County and Cleveland City, graduated from Cleveland High School, and he just wants to give back. I taught with his mom for years, and he and I have become friends, and he's a large supporter of the things we're trying to get done at Ocoee Middle. He supported a lot of our student initiatives, particularly our students with special needs. And really, his heart for local students is just unmatched. And I don't mean just he volunteers hours. He comes and does interviews with kids. I'm not talking about just with the money, but he's a great example of many of our community partners that they're what make us tick. It's not just the county commission money. Those guys and these local businesses pouring into us.
Yeah.
It really makes us go. So,
and on the other side of the break, we're going to be joined by Walker Valley softball coach Lauren Limburg. You might know that lady for sure.
I do know her. It was a really special night for us, and really just a special night to get to celebrate her and
400 career wins.
400 career wins. She and April have been together the whole time, all 400 wins, and really just celebrating the program as a whole. And we talked about it tonight. Walker Valley softball has never had a losing record. 25 years, never had a losing record. They've got over 630 wins as a program.
Stat of the day.
And it's just, in 25 years, super proud of what Lauren has done. And I don't get a chance to brag on her enough, but averaging over 26 wins a year in her career is just an incredible feat. Now, she'll tell you it's all about the kids. And it is. She has coached a lot of great kids, but it's more than that. And any of us that have been around sports know that it's not just the talent. You've got to be able to put them in the right positions and build a culture that gives those kids a chance to succeed. And really, I feel like that's what she's done. And it's just really been an honor to have kind of a side seat to watch that all happen, and go home from the games at night and be able to have those conversations and be a part of the biggest moments of her career. lows and highs of sports. There's just nothing like it.
And Cowboy, I'm going to have to set up the next segment and just let Corey interview his wife and the coach right here. That might be a little something interesting right there for sure, right? So
sounded pretty good.
I'm afraid he's going to try to get me in trouble, Joe. I don't know if I'd really trust Jeff to do that. But.
And it was also one, Cowboy, this is for you and our guy Justin Sims, who's not here. He was here for the last one, but $1 hot dog night at the park. So down the softball field, I came dressed for the occasion, wearing the
dollar dogs. I noticed that.
Relish the moment.
Are we doing the start bench and cut tonight?
Man, perfect segue, Joseph. Wow. This is right up your alley right here. Tonight's off the bench, start bench and cut.
I've been thinking a lot about this. So I'm ready for that.
$1 hot dog night. So we were thinking, okay, we got to go with the hot dog trimmings or toppings additions, right? Ketchup, mustard, relish in honor of that. So we'll dissect that later on in the show, but just be thinking of that. And it could go either way, because some people are like Cowboy, like we were talking about last night. We were getting the gear exchanged. People consider you a kid if you just put a ketchup on a hot dog, but most people love the classic brown mustard, or just the spicy brown mustard or the classic yellow mustard. So a lot of opinions might come out of this conversation right here. So we're looking forward to doing that for sure.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun for sure.
But I tell you what, let's go and take our next commercial break, and we will bring Coach Limburg in here, leader of the Walker Valley Feisty Fillies. This is Off the Bench Radio, presented by RMR Legal on the road tonight, right here on Talk 102.3. Welcome back to Off the Bench Radio, right here on Talk 102.3. Jeff Cate coming to you live again this week from Walker Valley High School, right now at Mike Turner Field, and it's starting to get some offense here on the diamond here, Joseph. Ooltewah has put 3 runs on the board in this top of the second inning. They currently lead Walker Valley 3-0. So big district game between the Ooltewah Owls and the Walker Valley Mustangs after Ooltewah had a come-from-behind victory, again, down 4-1 late in the game, scoring 7 runs to get that 8-4 win to kind of get that series started off on a good note for the red and gray. And we are joined back here now by the head coach of the Walker Valley softball team, the Feisty Fillies, and that is Lauren Limburg, no stranger to us right here on Off the Bench Radio on Talk 102.3. And, Coach, thanks for coming up here and talking with us. Big win over Howard tonight, and pretty good run you guys have been on. You had a tournament championship this weekend in the Eastman Invitational, and you got one career win number 400 during that time. So congrats on that. How we doing, first of all?
Doing great. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you for what you do for high school sports in our area. It means a lot. It's a beautiful day out here, and I'm just so thankful that you guys are here. We had a great weekend. The girls played really well. We just really got on a roll and continued to do what they needed to do to get victories, and ended up winning that championship, so that was awesome. And then to get a big district win tonight, I just can't say enough about my team. They work incredibly hard. This is one of the hardest working groups that we've ever had, just from top to bottom. They are a lot of come-with-me teammates, like, hey, I'm going to go hit, come with me. Hey, I'm going to go do defense, come with me. And I just think that speaks to the family culture that we have, because they want each other to be successful, and they're excited when others are successful. And so just to see them, that hard work pay off, in big moments, in games, and in tournaments, and in district games. That's just been really rewarding for me to see that, because, that hard work paying off is just a testament to what great kids they are and how hard workers they are. I'm just really blessed. We've got a great group of girls.
And last week, not to kind of put a damper on that, but you guys had a district loss against East Hamilton, and, he reeled off 7 straight. I think all 7 of those wins were in that Eastman Invitational. So what was the message to your team, kind of getting them refocused and obviously having a great weekend and kind of bouncing back in district play tonight against Howard?
I think it's just, making sure that we play our game, having good at bats, pitch selection, making sure that we're mentally strong, that if we do, strike out or something happens, that our next at bat, we value that at bat. And we're incredibly young, and so they are learning that as we go. And so I've just been really proud of how they bounce back. And, they know. They don't need me to tell them. They know what they did wrong and what they need to work on. And just being able to have, like, a team conversation about things that we might need to improve upon versus things that we do really well. And just being vulnerable in that group is really cool because they see things and they notice things that maybe I don't notice, and we just work and we just get better together.
Yeah, for sure. And I was talking to Corey a little bit before we got started. 7 wins over the week. I think it was tougher to win this Eastman Invitational than it was winning Spring Fling last year, right? And as far as the amount of games and stuff. So how do you what's the mindset and what's the schedule like in an event like that where you're playing so much within a short time frame like that, like 7 games over 3 days?
Yeah, I think it's just making sure you stay hydrated, making sure that we handle our pitchers correctly, making sure they don't get too worn down, and just like every next pitch. What's the next pitch? What's the next at bat? What's the next game? And just continuing to fight from first pitch to last pitch. Like if you do your job and you win every inning from first pitch to last pitch, if you win every inning, you're going to win the ball game. So just continuing to not get overwhelmed by trying to think, oh gosh, we got to win 7 games to win this tournament. It's literally 1 game at a time, 1 inning at a time, 1 pitch at a time.
And you mentioned, the kind of keeping those pitchers, going right there. Obviously losing a product like Ryan Presswood going to UTEP, but talk about, Haley Davis, who was on the Spotlight Series with us last summer, in addition to Ainsley Battle, a sophomore. Kind of how those two have stepped up to fill that gap.
Yeah, we really have a pitching staff, and I've just been so incredibly proud of those two. Haley is just really the epitome of a servant leader, and she is a come-with-me teammate. She makes those around her better, and she's really impacted not just this year, but she's impacted our team for the entire future of this program. She's just a great kid, hard worker, and Ainsley is one of the hardest workers that I have seen. She is constantly hitting. She's down there hitting right now after our game. Like, she comes, she does the work. She's a come with me. Hey, we're going to the, she's kind of taken over, her and her dad have kind of taken over the Sunday hitting that Alyssa Davenport and her dad started up a couple years ago. And they've really taken that reins. And I tell Alyssa when I talk to her, I'm like, you impacted our team. Your impact goes far beyond your playing days, because now we have girls that are coming to work because you came and you worked. And so Ainsley has really stepped up as a sophomore with just pitch location, changing speeds. Like, they've both done a really good job, and I'm just really proud of how they work together and they build each other up, and they know that they're better together. We've got 2 big games coming up. Tomorrow we've got Saudi Daisy. We have varsity and JV, and that's our alumni night. And to me, that is just really, really special because, you talked about the 400 wins and all that, but our program would not be what it is without those kids that wore the Feisty Fillies jersey. And, to think about what they did and what they mean to me, not just as a coach, but also as, an individual, to think about all those kids and the impact that they made on our program, I'm very, very thankful for them and their families. And just getting to celebrate them is just really, really special. And I know some of them are busy and they've moved away and all the things, but just to know that, hey, we appreciate you. Like, I tell them, like, when I get to talk to them, like, yes, you might not have been on the state championship team last year, but we wouldn't have that state championship without you, because you helped pave the way for this team and last year's team. And, I talk about Coach April Richards. We want to talk about how, that's 400 wins for me, but she's been there for every single one of them. And,
Yep.
She was also on the first team that Walker Valley ever had, and she's also a Hall of Famer. And
a state champ.
And a state champ. And there's no doubt in my mind that without April Richards, Walker Valley softball doesn't win a state championship, and we're not sitting here today. So it's like those players that paved the way and made huge impacts, like, we want to celebrate that. And we just, all the families, the kids that are on the team now, just such great families, just such great kids that do the right things, kids that are student athletes. I've just been incredibly blessed. So we've got them. We got Saudi tomorrow, and then we've got a big district game against Bradley on Thursday. Play JV with them too. So getting in a couple JV games this week. So I'm really excited about that. Give the younger kids an opportunity to play. But we're going to take Easter weekend off. We are going to take it off.
There you go.
Yeah, we've been playing a lot. We've been playing a lot of games, and I'm excited for them to have a break. We've got another tournament the following weekend up in Knoxville, so we need some time to rest up and take care of ourselves.
That's good stuff. Well, again, Coach, thank you so much for coming up here, and I know it was a big win tonight over Howard. congrats again on, let's reel this off. State championship last year, career win number 400, and a great weekend in the Tri-Cities at the Eastman Invitational, and putting up with this guy over here, Corey Limburg, too. So congratulations.
I appreciate it. I couldn't do it without him. So he's been there every step of the way.
Thank you again, Coach.
Thank you.
Let's go and go to commercial break, Justin. We'll put a bow on this edition of Off the Bench Radio. On the other side, this is OTB Radio on Talk 102.3. Welcome back into Off the Bench Radio, right here on Talk 102.3 WGOW. Whether you're listening to us in the car on 102.3, on your phone, on the Talk Radio app, Apple Music, or, of course, on WGOW.com. Thank you for giving us a little bit of your Tuesday evening. Again, we are coming to you live tonight from Walker Valley High School, set up here beside the press box at Mike Turner Field. Diamond doubleheader, we're calling it, Corey, for sure. With the Feisty Fillies getting a big win over Howard, 16-zip, and the baseball Mustangs rocking the classic Charleston uniforms tonight. It's Charleston in script right there, navy blue. It's beautiful, definitely a beautiful scheme right there for sure. In a little bit of a hole, down 3-0 to Ooltewah, going into the top of the third inning. So we're talking. We've done these start, bench, and cut segments over the last few weeks, and like we said before, with it being $1 hot dog night down there in your neck of the woods at the softball stadium, obviously we're going with something hot dog themed for sure, and that is condiments, right? You got ketchup, mustard, and relish. Cowboy, let's start with you. What are you starting, what are you benching, and what are you cutting between those three, brother?
This is a tough one. I do know what I'm cutting, and that is going to be relish.
Atta baby.
Just never been a relish
Atta
fan.
baby, Cowboy.
Joe, we all know you cut the mustard. Come on, pal.
Hey-o.
Hey-o.
The guy needs to go with me to middle school, Joe. He needs to go. That's a middle school joke.
Dad joke, boys.
You know.
But, yeah, never a fan of relish, so definitely cutting that. Now, here's where the big decision lies. I think, I've heard one who's the big hot dog eater? Joey Chestnut, right?
Jeff Cate, pal. What are you talking about?
Oh, well, and Jeff Cate. Well, Joey Chestnut has said that anyone that eats ketchup on a hot dog is a child. And this coming from a guy who his job is eating
Come on, Joe.
a bunch of hot dogs. So take that for what it's worth. So, you know what? I'm going to be a child, I guess, and I'm going to start ketchup and bench mustard.
Okay. I think I got to kind of go right there. I cannot believe I'm agreeing with Cowboy Joe for the second week in a row, man. I am starting ketchup. I'm going to be the inner child right here is coming out right here on Off the Bench Radio. I am going to bench mustard, but it's got to be spicy brown mustard. That's me.
Okay.
And, of course, relish, it's out of here for sure. Like a home run, it's out of here. What about you, Corey?
Well, definitely cutting relish, but I'll go a little bit different because I do like ketchup and mustard both on my hot dogs. But
I do too.
I would but I would probably start the mustard. I like spicy brown mustard, deli mustard. I can go with yellow as well, but definitely I would probably start them both. But if I had to bench one, I'll bench the ketchup and go with just mustard on the dog.
There you go. I mean, and we always have our best discussions over food. It doesn't matter what it is, right? For sure. And Cowboy, if you've been for people that have been keeping up with our socials, again, you can go to at OTB Chattanooga on Instagram, at OTB423 on X, and, of course, the YouTube channel as well. Sponsored by the Mox Club once again. Want to thank those guys. Again, big Porky's Open next week, next Tuesday. They still got tickets for the post-event social going on. There's an auction going on there as well. You can go to gomox.com and click on the Mox Club tab for sure for that. And we had a local business, Cowboy, drop off some kettle corn goodness. I want to give a shout out to the Kettle Company.
No doubt.
And they know the way for us to talk about their product, and that's food with me and you, pal, for sure. So you got the bag, you got your sample, which is a more than generous helping right there. So I'm guessing, is the bag still full, or is there something left in there? Or give us what you thought about that, because I thought I'll give you my overall thoughts there, but it was very, very good for sure.
Well, it looked good just seeing it through the bag, and it's not full by any means. I ate literally half the bag last night, and
Oh my gosh.
that was my dinner. I ate half the bag, and yeah, it was fantastic. Some of the best kettle corn I've ever had, and man, yeah. So I guess the other half of the bag will be my dinner tonight.
That's gonna be the post-show meal right there for us, for sure, pal. And these guys, Carter and Megan, they just started this in October of 2025, so a fairly new venture. They have kind of a storefront at the Heaven and Earth Collective inside Bradley Square Mall, so another Cleveland connection here tonight, Bradley County connection. So find them on social media. They're out and about in the communities every weekend. So, and you can't get better than this, Cowboy. 3 simple ingredients with a dash of salt at the end: kernels, sugar, and oil. What more can you ask for? That's my food groups right here on Off the Bench Radio for sure.
I like it, and pair it with a hot dog with your choice of mustard and ketchup.
No relish.
Yeah, then you got something.
That's good stuff. Again, I just want to thank those guys for bringing the samples out to us. That was definitely appreciated.
Yes, sir.
Definitely go check them out on social. You can find out where they're going to be at and try it yourself. It's definitely good stuff. So, Corey, any final thoughts before we get out of here?
No, I just want to say thank you to you guys. And Cowboy, I know you're big into high school sports in the area too, and we'll forgive you for being a Ray County guy. But I do just appreciate the local coverage, and I know this is a market for the Chattanooga stations as well. But I do just want to say thank you for covering high school sports and doing things like coming up here to Charleston and covering this stuff, and for the stuff you guys do not only on Off the Bench but also on Sport Talk every day to support these high school and even down to middle school. I just appreciate what you guys do. It means a lot, and so I want to say thank you for coming up and covering this stuff.
I appreciate that. It means a lot for sure. And, great local partners like RMR Legal. Want to thank Roy once again. And, if you're facing criminal charges, I don't know, like you maybe getting a little too crazy celebrating career win 400 for your wife.
Yeah, it'll be a big party at the Limburg house tonight. If you consider staying up past 8:30 a party, that'll be about the extent of it. So.
RMRlegal.com. You can see what they do and offer. And again, Cleveland's hometown 24/7 law firm, big supporter of Ocoee Middle School and Walker Valley High School. So, definitely want to thank Roy and his team once again for helping put this on. And tell you what, great softball and baseball across the area this week. We had Silverdale Boyd Buchanan going on both diamonds.
It's a big one.
Obviously, the Feisty Fillies are in the middle of their district run. And, we got a great matchup right here. We'll see if the Mustangs can get back in this game. I think with series coming up with Cleveland and Bradley Central for both of these teams coming up over the next couple weeks, so a lot to keep an eye on, and get ready for postseason positioning. You'll be here before you know it, man. It's crazy.
Good ball. Once you get those district tournaments for high school, it's a lot of fun.
Are you over the 30-point beat down in the Elite Eight Tennessee?
Yeah, Tennessee played so poorly that I think I was over it pretty quick.
5 minutes in.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Being a Duke fan, I know that's been talked about a lot on Sport Talk, but I don't know if I'd rather be a Duke fan or Tennessee fan right now, but I got over that one pretty quick. So.
Yeah, for sure. Looking forward to the Final Four. Looking forward to being back next week on Off the Bench Radio. And Cowboy, thank you again for what you do, buddy. Appreciate what you do.
Thanks,
and we'll be back next Tuesday night, 7 to 8, right here on the Talk Monster. Definitely stay tuned for all of our local programming beginning bright and early 6 o'clock tomorrow morning with Jed and JR leading all the way until 7 o'clock from 3 to 7 with Cowboy, Pascal, and Quake with Sport Talk. Have a great one. See ya.